An ordinance to declare it impractical and unfeasible to bid to authorize the city manager to appropriate $90,000 to Carelink Fitness and Wellness Center to provide certain services for older adults in the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, to declare an intent to continue this matter as part of the 2019 budget, to declare emergency and for the purposes first reading.
Is there a motion to suspend the rules and place this on second reading? There's a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Second reading, please.
An ordinance to declare it impractical and unfeasible to bid to authorize the city manager to appropriate $90,000 to Carelink Fitness and Wellness Center to provide certain services for older adults in the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, to declare an intent to continue this matter as part of the 2019 budget, to declare an emergency, second reading.
Is there a motion and a second to suspend the rules and place this on third and final reading? There's a motion and a second to suspend the rules and place this ordinance on third and final reading. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed say nay. Third and final reading, please.
An ordinance to declare it impractical and unfeasible to bid to authorize the city manager to appropriate $90,000 to Carelink Fitness and Wellness Center to provide certain services for older adults in the city of Little Rock, Arkansas, to declare an intent to continue this matter as part of the 2019 budget, to declare an emergency, third and final reading.
Okay, I believe Director Director Wright had a request for a presentation on this matter. If the applicant will come forward, please. Pardon?
No, I was just the one besieged by Carelink members wanting this facility to stay open. So I'll let Mr. Mattingly explain how we got here.
Thank you, Director Wright, and thank you, City Directors. I am Luke Mattingly, President and CEO of Carelink, which is the Central Arkansas Area Agency on Aging, and we're a 40-year-old nonprofit. They've been serving seniors in Central Arkansas and advocating for them for the past 40 years. So first and foremost, if you form your aging committee, I would love to offer my expertise and the resources of our agency who've been doing that for 40 years, who might have access to resources that could readily provide you with information.
Thank you.
So I would be happy to assist in whatever manner I could there. We've had a long-standing relationship with the City of Little Rock in providing services to seniors, mainly through your network of community centers throughout Little Rock. So we've had a great relationship. We also provide senior fitness and wellness activities at the Carelink Fitness and Wellness Center at 1200 South Cleveland. And a lot of you may recognize that as the Best Chisholm Community Center or the YMCA. That's the building that we're talking about. It's a 21,000 square foot facility with exceptional swimming pool, the best in Central Arkansas, without a doubt. 6 foot personal sauna, weight room, cardio exercise room, educational training room, and a large ballroom area that's used for a variety of exercise and physical training activities. The Carelink Fitness and Wellness Center is the only senior-specific activity center in Little Rock. This focus allows us to tailor the facility, equipment, and classes to the unique wellness needs of older adults. Relatedly, the large swimming pool, though one of the largest operating expenses, provides crucial low-impact exercise alternatives to individuals dealing with conditions such as arthritis and osteoporosis. Currently, we have over 500 individuals, participants, unduplicated every month. 300 of those are paying members. And they participate in a wide variety of activities. Memberships include access to all amenities of the facility, and some fitness classes and courses are at no cost to some participants without a membership, allowing access to the full community. Additionally, our seniors take immense joy in socializing with their fellow participants, and we had envisioned this facility growing to a much larger membership base, and just have not been able to sustain the financial viability of the facility. Services this facility well over 20 physical fitness activities that are catered to senior individuals. We also train a matter of balance there because falls is a great risk for our seniors. Chronic disease self-management, chronic pain management, cooking matters to help folks understand how to cook better. Diabetes empowerment educations and diabetes self-management also occur at this facility. These courses are provided at the center are essential to the health and well-being of our seniors. And the center provides the tools to help our older adults stay active and independent and remain in their homes, which is where they want to be. There's many points that we can make about the benefits of wellness and fitness for our seniors. Unfortunately, right after we bought the facility and had a vision growing it and doing all the wonderful things that we want to, and have a senior-centric facility in the city of Little Rock, like many other very successful cities have programs that are specifically catered to seniors. We ran into some funding. I mean, the month after we bought the facility, we ran into some significant funding shortfalls, both through the federal and state budgetary processes. So we're no longer able to sustain the facility. We have a shortfall of about $180,000 a year. And our fiscal year runs on state year, so June 30th was when we were planning to close the facility. And to Director Edcock's point, that's why you don't have anything in front of you this morning, or this afternoon, evening, I guess we're at, is that a bunch of our members mobilized, got together and said, hey, what can we do to save this facility? We love it. It's great. Y'all are doing such wonderful things. They extended an opportunity to Director Wright to come out and find out about the facility. And this has moved a little really quickly, trying to save the facility and keep it running and operating. We really do envision it growing and being a showpiece for the city of Little Rock, for people coming into, I don't know if the gentleman's still here, for people coming into the city that are looking for things that are specifically designed for seniors. This is a wonderful facility for that. So we reached out to the city of Little Rock and asked them to help us out. We have a $90,000 that would do you through the end of your fiscal year, and then we would be asking for $180,000 every year after that to help us with the facility. And of course, if our financial position improves, we would ask less from the city as we move forward, unless y'all got real involved and decided to expand what we're doing there. And that's what we're doing here tonight, and asking for you to assist our seniors in that area to keep this facility open and running to the benefit of our folks in that neighborhood. It's all 100% Little Rock members at that facility, and as Director Wyrick mentioned, we've got people from all over different wards that drive into that facility. It's centrally located. It's a wonderful spot. It's a great facility, and it broke my heart when I had to announce that we were going to close it, because it is a great place for seniors.
Mayor, I actually found out about this on May 25th, and some of the seniors that attend there at Carelink were on the NUSA trip. So that's when I actually found out about it. And when I got back, I met with Mr. Mattingly and asked him, you know, what could we do? And that's, I came back to Mr. Moore and I said, look, we have so many of our seniors that go over there for their back, for their arthritis. They need this type of support. And a lot of the seniors that attend the West Central Senior Activity Center will also attend over there for access to the pool, because, of course, you know, we don't have a pool. Thank you, BJ. Anyway, I cannot walk in a building. I can't go to the grocery store. I can't walk in the community center. I can't go in the dollar store without somebody bringing this situation with Carelink, the Carelink building, up to me and asking me to please try and do something. And so Mr. Moore got to work, and he met with Mr. Mattingly, and this is where we are at this point. So I would hope the board would support this so that our senior citizens will have a site-specific place designated for them to attend. Thank you.
Can you, a couple of follow-up questions I have. So the city's already supporting Carelink through our CDBG funds, correct?
Yes, sir.
And how much is that we're providing to you currently?
The CDBG, as my memory serves, I didn't look at it before I came over, it's about $36,000 if I recall. And then prior to this year, you were also supporting the Southwest Senior Center, community center with senior meals for about $24,000 if I recall. So I believe altogether it's about $50,000.
About $60,000.
Yes.
And that's Meals on Wheels primarily, right?
That's strictly
taking
feeding
it to
programs.
elderly people in the community.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And we support your community centers by bringing senior activities into your senior centers, into your community centers, as well as congregate meals into those senior centers that aren't provided specifically by the city of Little Rock.
So the discussion came up today, Mr. Jones, about what type of senior activities we're doing in our existing community centers. Did you determine that, and can you advise the board on that?
We can. Mr. Webb?
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Board members. Honestly, I'm a kind of what do you call a design guy, and I brought some experts behind me that really know a lot more about our recreation programs. But I want to point out before I yield to them that we do have the Jim Daly Fitness Aquatic Center a stone's throw away from the center and the center itself. Now, whether that's sufficient enough, probably needs a little more study to see if we need to duplicate these services or not. But I'm yielding to them to help y'all get more informed, and then we'll decide from there. We got Gil Standards here, and Josh Mays is going to speak for us for the Jim Daly Fitness Center.
Mr. Webb? Okay, go ahead, Director Adcock. Or Mr. Webb?
Has John Eckhart been able to go out and assess his pool, the age and the condition and the facility?
We had our building services, I understand, go out there and evaluate the building. I do not know what the outcome of that study was.
Okay, and when will that be available?
I imagine here in the next week.
Next week, okay. Thank you.
Josh?
Gentlemen?
Good evening. My name is Josh Mays. I'm the director of the Jim Daly Fitness and Aquatic Center. I've been there for about 5 years. Before I was there, I was actually the Governor's Council on Fitness coordinator. And before that, I was at the fitness center once again. So I've been there, I guess, total of about 7.5, 8 years now, with one stint of the Arkansas Governor's Council on Fitness in between then. The fitness center was designed, from my understanding, of 1992, that it was for adults. And so we have prided ourselves on being for adults. Now, underneath new parks management, we are looking to be more family friendly. With that, we have a variety of classes. We obviously have the indoor pool. We have a whirlpool, a sauna. We have weights as well, along with a basketball court and an indoor walking track. We have Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. We have 3 senior fitness classes that range from 10:15 to noon. That senior aerobics, that's weights, that's a stretch and tone also, are the 3 classes. And then we obviously have an indoor pool, as previously stated, that is for 86 degrees. To be a part of the Arthritis Foundation, you have to have a pool at that temperature, so we remain that temperature for that. And we also offer an aqua power class at 6 a.m., aqua fit, which is 9:30 to 10:30 every day of the week, Monday through Friday, and then an Arthritis Foundation class from 10:30 to 11:30 to help seniors with arthritis. So we do offer some classes, obviously not all classes that we have at the fitness center. We are actually 1.7 miles away, so we are relatively close to where they are. They do have a nice facility. I've been in there before. They do have a beautiful pool, a wonderful pool that I'm a little jealous of. But we do have a pool that does meet the needs for our citizens and senior population.
Do we charge for those activities?
We do. Currently, it is $30 per month for seniors, and I think this is kind of where it is different. Our senior is, the definition of that is 62 years of age. That is about to change here in the next month and a half or so, probably by the end of September. We do have a new point of sale system coming in. With that, we are actually changing all of our prices. It's $30 per month currently, and it's $45 for a household of 2. It's $3 for a daily rate. Anyone can come in and just pay $3 over the age of 62. However, hopefully by September the 1st, that price for a senior is going to drop down to $15 per month, and that age limit is going to drop down to 60. It will continue to be $3 a day. So we are adjusting for that in the future. And that was before, obviously, we knew any of this was going to happen with Carelink. I can personally say, and I know me and Mr. Manley spoke earlier, but when I worked for the state of Arkansas as the Governor's Council on Fitness Coordinator, I actually took a couple of classes with Todd Price. And personally, I was PEPI trained at the time, which is peer exercise, participant. It's for seniors. It's a type of exercise program. I was actually housed at the Department of Health with Betty Watts, who actually was a falls free program for seniors that I was also trained in. And I also try to go to conferences every other year. That kind of keeps me up to date, not only on fitness trends for younger adults, but also senior adults. And I can say the fitness classes that we have do meet the Falls Free and Peppy as well.
Okay. Is there any questions for? I'm going to take them in order and see who wants to talk to who. Director Compiers, you're next, please.
Well, just a general comment. Doris, I think what you and BJ want to do is great for looking into this. And I'm all for trying to get Carelinks to the end of this year. I am not for budgeting money for 2019 until we look at opportunities we have. We've got within a mile and a half of each other, we've got 3 centers, 2 doing the same thing. And we need to provide the services, but we're getting ready to, I think, approve this with a budget adjustment that takes money out of different things because our money's low. So the idea that we're expanding expenses and then promising $180,000 next year when we don't know where we're going to be next year, to me, is not fiscally responsible. And so I will be all for, if you want to change this, to get Carelinks through this year with the understanding that you and BJ and the staff look at these 3 opportunities and come back with a cohesive plan on how we can take care of this need, but without duplicating a mile and a half from each other. And that would be my thought on this. And if you want to modify it, please do. If not, then I'm afraid I can't support $180,000 in 2019 that I don't know where we're going to come up with it.
At the appropriate time, if there is a motion to amend, I'll certainly recognize that. I'm going to get to you all in just a second.
Come this way.
Director Richardson, you're recognized, please.
Thank you, Mayor.
Sorry, Director Hendricks, you didn't beat him to the punch.
Well, listen, I want to dovetail on Dean's point. I think one of the speakers made reference to that it just doesn't apply just to seniors, but it applies to families as well. And what I find oddly ironic is we have a funding source that funds programs for children, youth, and families, and we're adamant about them submitting proposals. We are adamant about them doing that. And here we are, we're going against, I don't know if we're setting some kind of precedent or not, Tom or Mayor, but I understand, I know they're doing wonderful work. I'm supportive of the work that they're doing, but I find it oddly ironic that we have programs coming before us that are serving children, youth, and families, and we're adamant about them submitting proposals. We don't do any sole source bids. We don't have any kind of bidding, or we make them bid. We make them write proposals for this funding. I believe in what you guys are doing. I love what you're doing. I'm supportive of what you're doing. From a process standpoint, I want to dovetail Dean's point. I'm not comfortable with that from a process standpoint, how we're moving forward tonight to declare it impractical and unfeasible to bid, which is what we do on all funding of programs regarding children, youth, and families, unless they're grant funding that we sought some outside funding to support. So, Mayor, I just have a problem with it from a process standpoint.
Very good. Director Hendricks, you're next, please.
I'm opposed to it. I'm not a person that just run off at the mouth. I don't think it's time for us to talk about it, and I ditto what Dean has said and what Ken has said. So let's move on. I'm ready to go home.
Well, you may leave if you'd like. Director Adcock, you're recognized, please.
Is your program full?
It is not. We actually don't cap our classes. And so that's where we're at right now. We're actually trying to simplify the process in this renovation that we're currently having with the new point of sale system and everything. And so we average, and I don't have those numbers in front of me, unfortunately. I probably have them on my phone somewhere. But we average, I want to say, around 8 to 12 participants in these senior classes in the fitness section. That classroom actually holds up to 35. When it comes to the pool, that is very more popular, obviously, with seniors. And so I think we average anywhere from 15 to 20 in those classes. We have 6 full lanes right now. We obviously can move some more lanes if those classes were to become bigger.
And you said it's going to be $15 a month?
Yes, ma'am, and I'm sorry for not allowing me to elaborate on that. Currently, classes are included in that $30. If someone paid $3, they would be able to attend the classes as well. And starting when it's $15, they will also be able to include the classes.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Jones, where are you going to take $90,000 out of the budget?
Mr. Moore is working on that, and we'll present that to you with the budget adjustment.
And when will the budget
August.
adjustment comes?
First meeting in August.
First week in August. Well, my opinion is I want to know where the 90,000 is coming from before I would vote yes on this, because there's lots of places that I don't see how we're going to cut money. And 90,000 is quite a bit of money to cut out of this year's budget. If this was January the 1st and you could show me 2019, but to show me 90,000 out of already doing budget adjustments is going to be hard. Thank you.
Director Hines, you're recognized, please.
Thanks. I have a question for the representative from Carelink, just to get an idea on size and scope, since that's what we're talking about. Do you know what your total enrollment is at that facility right now, roughly?
533, sir.
Okay.
And my Zumba class has 85 participants.
Okay. And then you're asking us for a shortfall funding of 90,000 and 180,000. What's your total operating budget for that facility?
My total operating budget is a little over $225,000.
So is that before, that's what, so I just want to make sure I'm understanding the numbers here, because, so your total operating budget was $225,000 for the year, or?
Sorry, sir, it's $311,000.
So 311.
Yes, sir. We have about $115,000 of revenue to put in the facility.
And do you guys collect revenue from your membership?
We do collect from some members, and very similar fee scale to what the Daily Center does.
Okay, so do you know what your revenue intake is?
$75,000 on the memberships, and then we rent that ballroom to about $40,000 a year.
Okay, so is that included in your 311,000 operating
Yes,
budget?
sir. That's about, yes, sir, $115,000 of that, roughly.
So we got 311.
So I'm about 195 shy, basically.
Right. Okay. That's what I'm just. So you're looking for roughly 2/3 of the operating budget from
Yes,
us.
sir.
All right. That's what I need to know. Thank you.
I've got a question for the applicant as well. So if you're having that kind of a shortfall and we're prepared to close it down, what are you doing to try and increase your membership or increase your funding? I understand you lost a federal grant or some type of a state grant. Is that correct?
Well, the Federal Older Americans Act, which helps fund fitness and wellness, which we were augmenting this program with, the state changed the funding formula, which distributes how that money is allocated to all the different regions in the state. And they added a rural factor into there, which caused a shortfall for us. Literally out of the 6 counties that I operate out of, which are Pulaski, Lone Oak, Faulkner, Prairie, Monroe, and Saline, it pulled $150,000 out of that. That all came out of Pulaski because of that rural factor. And that was one of those funding shortfalls that we've experienced almost overnight. Every funding source that we currently have right now is reducing or stagnant at best, and so we lost a significant amount of money, grant money that we were able to put in the facility to keep it operational.
So what's your proposal going forward?
Well, we're
I mean, other
coming
than
here to the city and
other
asking
than
for
coming
help.
to the city of Little Rock to make up the
Come
entire
to the city of Little
shortfall.
Rock and ask for help. We're absolutely feel like we can increase memberships there with a dedicated senior facility, and all deference to the Daily Center, but when seniors have a dedicated place for them to go, that's where they're going to go. The 10 Fitness model, for example, they look at their space and they say, okay, only 50% of our members that sign up are ever going to come during the year, and only 25% of them are going to be there at any given time. For us, it's 85% that come and show up at any given time. So our model versus a 10 Fitness or something like that has to have a much broader perspective of footprint, the space. We have applied for some grants to get some new equipment that would be more attractive to people coming in there to attract more members. It's a little bit of a catch-22. I got to keep the place open so that I can adequately go out and find more things that people are going to like and come to. I mean, ideally, I would add about 15,000 square foot to that facility so that I could have more classroom space, some computer labs, and racquetball courts. 85% of our members are female. We would like to add some things that would increase our male membership. You would think that having 85% female would be the attractive thing, right? It doesn't work out that way. So we're looking for more things to add to the program that would attract more male memberships. We're looking at some MMA kind of things, some jiu-jitsu things that we have some volunteer instructors to come out and do. We're hoping that will attract some more male members over there. But memberships had grown. Even through the first 6 months of this year, I had added 100 members to the facility. So we felt like over a 3-year period, given some capital improvements to that facility, we could probably get to a break-even position. Unfortunately, with my funding losses, I couldn't make it through that 3-year period.
You asked the governor to give you some money out of his discretionary fund since the state formula was changed?
This and other matters, sir. The answer is always no.
I'd certainly make the request. Okay, Director Peck, you're recognized, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Josh, I have a quick question. So it looks like, and first of all, Dean, I'm on the same page that you are. Duplication of services with Jim Daly. Is the primary difference between the types of classes that Carelink's has and yours are the ones you don't have, like the chronic pain management or the diabetes self-management? Is that the primary difference?
Those are the primary differences. We don't have class while they have ongoing programs. We have things like Baptist Health comes in and does blood pressure and diabetes and blood sugar test.
Radically.
The first Monday of the month, whereas they have programs. I would say that we're also in a period of we're transitioning right now. Obviously, with new parks management, we have new fitness equipment coming in as well, along with several things. And I've been told to simplify. Right now, we literally have 238 classes a month on average. If you go to an LA Fitness or something like that, they usually have about 100. So I've actually been asked to kind of downsize and simplify what we currently have. To just better suit the needs and look more like a fitness center instead of kind of a community center. We have about 2,400 active members right now, and he is correct. Exactly what you said. At times, I wish only 25% of them actually use their membership, but we used approximately. We have 10,000 people come through our doors each month. So the people who do have those memberships do get used. But that is to answer your question, yes, that is the primary difference, that we do not have set programs besides our senior size fitness programs and our aquatics programs besides that.
Okay. Thank you. But Gil, you have some programs, don't you? Okay. Would you speak to that briefly? I know we all want to go home, but this is important.
Good evening. My name is Gil Standridge. I'm the Recreation Program Manager. And senior, we like to call it the Active and Aging Program, is part of the Recreation Program for the City of Little Rock. We have 5 community centers, and each of the community centers has memberships that if you buy a membership in January, it's $15. If you don't buy it, it's $1.50 a month, so it averages out to about $18 for the entire year. In that, we offer such events as bowling, shopping, ceramic, we go out of town. We do Valentine parties, Easter programs, Mother's Day program, beanbag baseball, which is huge these days. We have the Baptist Health. We have health fairs, health screenings, birthday parties, Christmas parties, Mardi Gras, and all these we've attracted. If you count from daily attendance from all the programs we do daily to all of our special events, we've attracted 9,869 seniors since the first of the year. Also daily at our sites, we offer dominoes, card games, bingos, arts and crafts, and we have a lot of folks that are highly devoted to religion. We allow them to have devotionals at each of our sites, and we do, Carelink does provide hot lunches for our Dunbar, Southwest, and East Little Rock. And I'm sorry, I failed to mention our 5 sites that we have senior programs are Dunbar Community Center, East Little Rock Community Center, Southwest Community Center, Stevens Community Center, and our newest one is West Central Community Center.
Okay.
Very good. Thank
Thanks,
you, Gil. Go ahead.
That's all, Mayor. Thank you.
I've got a bunch of people. Director Wyrick, you're next, please.
Thank you. Mr. Mattingly, can you come back up, please?
Yes, ma'am.
The seniors that come to your fitness center, can you tell a little bit about the programs that you have there? I know we heard about Jim Daly. Can you tell us what you have there and approximately how many people participate in those and how many days a week?
Well, we have programming 5 days a week, pretty much from 6 a.m. until 7 p.m. at night. Until the recent budgeting shortfalls, we were also operating half a day on Saturdays. And a lot of that does revolve around the pool. So we have aqua arthritis, aqua power, aqua walking, silver aqua, through the Silver Fit and Silver Sneakers program, which are Medicare Advantage insurance programs. We also have a beanbag baseball, very competitive sport. It's amazing. We do body sculpting, dance, cardio and strength, the deep water cycle, Drums Alive, which is a new program that is very invigorating and is growing. I think there were, the class has only been going about 3 months now, and we're 55 in our last class. Of course, lap swimming. We have the pool is open 2 lanes always for lap swimmers. Line dancing, moving with balance. Payo, if you ask me to explain that one, I'm not sure what it is. The sink or swim, which we teach seniors how to swim, water aerobics, yoga, Zumba, and all of those evidence-based classes that we talked about that are classroom to benefit our seniors. And, you know, I give a shout out to your folks over here. I mean, I love working with them, and they do a great job. Again, all of that's through your community centers, and I think a place as large as Little Rock and as prestigious as Little Rock should have a senior-centric dedicated facility to it. And if that's not tonight, then hopefully that will come out of this committee, because I think it would really benefit our community. And if you've been through the Hayes Senior Center in North Little Rock, one of the premier senior centers on the South, folks, Little Rock needs to have a proud place like that.
And I guess that's where I was coming from with this whole issue. I've heard many people in the community talk about a senior center, and I know we've got seniors going to Jim Daly, and you know, a place that's dedicated for seniors for their types of recreation. I would be one of those people. So when Doris and I started talking about this, I thought maybe this is the beginning of the Hayes Center for Little Rock, because everybody talks about, you know, we're the big city in the state. We need to have a senior center for all of the 50 and over.
Yes, ma'am. Maumelle has just finished a beautiful facility, Centers on the Lake. Jacksonville recently, within the last 5 years, expanded their facility. They support it almost entirely. Of course, Faulkner County and Conway, within the last 2 years, they built a beautiful new fitness and wellness center dedicated to seniors. And again, regardless of this, at least hopefully it starts a conversation that this is needed in Little Rock.
And that's what I'm thinking. And Dean, your proposal, I don't know if we have the ability to negotiate, because this was between Bruce and Mr. Mattingly in regards to how the ordinance was written up. I would be willing to do the 6 months and get that senior committee going full speed ahead to see what we can determine to see if it was really worth our while for the beginning of a senior center. But I don't know if we have the ability to make that change tonight.